South Africa has a total planted area of 1.3 million hectares of forest land. The biggest portion of that land is earmarked towards the pulp and paper industries. The smallest portion, of course, is for solid wood timber processors like ourselves. York is the leading player in the market, and also the biggest vertically integrated player in that sector. The products that comes out of a plantation, usually is a product that we refer to as saw logs, which is used in the sawmilling operations, a veneer log, which is used in the rotary peeling, or the more we call it the clear wood or the furniture grade type of market, where it's peeled or sliced in 2 to 3 millimeter thicknesses, and it's used as a lay-on. Very much appearance grade market. And then, of course, there's another product that comes out of a plantation, which is referred to as pulp, that of course we supply for the pulp and paper industries. And then, of course, you've got your branches and leaves. Now, a new sector that opened up for plantation owners like ourselves is the energy sector, where, given the current energy requirements in South Africa, cogeneration is a critical element of a product that gets produced out of our plantations, where we take biomass, put them in furnaces, convert that, of course, into electrical and thermal energy. So although people would perceive plantations as just a forest, there's a lot of products that can be derived out of that plantation. Another element of that is also the element of ecotourism, elements of your communities, where we have community social projects. We grow mushrooms in our plantations, natural mushrooms that grow naturally, which is harvested by community members. Another product is bracken fern, which is also harvested by our community members. And all of these things are additional products derived out of the plantation. So if you look at us as actually agroforestry, we don't like that word a lot because we're not agriculture pharmacists per se, but it's the part of that sector itself. The products that's produced in our processing plants is very specific. There's multiple dimensions and grades of products that's been produced, and this goes towards the various sectors of the industry. We have segmented that very carefully into the residential, the non-residential, the so-called unrecorded sector of the market, which is the informal side of it. And we know carefully what the key drivers of those sectors are. Fundamentally, if you look at government's initiatives going forward in terms of the so-called lower income or the affordable housing sector market, we're very well positioned to leverage ourselves in order to facilitate that growth and assist government really to deliver on those, on the initiatives. As far as the other infrastructure product goes, a product that we produce, plywood, York is the only processor in South Africa, or actually in Southern Africa, who produces plywood to the magnitude that we do. We're by far the biggest player. And that product is a critical element when we do shuttering or when major infrastructure development happens. So the application is critical if you look at where we want to go in terms of creating and delivering on the infrastructure, the needs and demands of South Africa. York has a market share in the lumber market of about 22%, and on the plywood we've got quite a strong position of above 75, close to 80% of that market. Our philosophy in the company is to optimize that raw material to its fullest potential. We don't fully utilize all our fiber ourselves at this stage. So from that perspective, we're looking at additional processing facilities, looking at cogeneration, as I already mentioned. We're also looking how we can better utilize the fiber that we currently produce. Remember, trees are growing in our industry on a 25-year cycle. So if you cut the tree and you only take volume out of that tree 50%, the other 50% is product that we call is a residue product or a byproduct. The value we derive out of that additional 50% is not even 4% of our turnover. So the opportunity for York lies in what can we do with that additional 50% of fiber, which we get such a little revenue from. And from that point of view, we've embarked on an integrated site principle at Sabi. This is not new. We've learned from our Scandinavian friends how they've done this. The concept is very simple. You bring all your raw material into the site, and the only thing that leaves the site is finished product, or product in the form of electricity or energy or compost. So York has defined that strategy very clearly. We've got a 5-year growth plan that caters for those specific elements to take the business going forward. So although I started off with a few products that comes out of plantations, if you sit back and you look at an industry like us, there are multiple products that comes out of an asset class like that of what York has.